Hello and welcome to the Happy Insights podcast. My name is Happy Ali. Today's episode was not my idea, but I've been asked to talk about freedom and the election and election results. And I don't really want to get into this dark place. I want to get into the idea that no matter who is in charge, you have the choice to be the creator of your life. Now, what happens is that when we have someone that's president or people that are controlling the Senate or the House or people that we feel that are controlling our lives, dictate our emotions, our frequency lowers. And when that happens, bad stuff starts happening. We become a victim of what is going on or what we think is going on in this world. So then we realize how horrible life is, and because we have proof now. And when that happens, then we start blaming the external forces for what we're experiencing. Now, I'm going to give you a few little bits of examples. Okay. I was born in a country which is Iran. And for the first 10 years of my life, I lived during a war, during a revolution. My family was going through a divorce, my mom and dad. Music was outlawed. Just fun was outlawed. Dancing, if you got caught dancing, you'd go to jail. So, of course, there were some people who just stopped dancing, who stopped listening to music, who stopped living their lives. But there were people who decided to ignore what they saw and still find creative ways to be impervious to the influence of the government. And they followed their instincts and they still got the latest songs, latest movies. Movies were outlawed too. They still had their parties, they still had their lives and they were able to live no matter what. Now, I know this is an extreme example, but I think it's something that we all need to hear because later, as time went on, Iran became even more not severe in terms of its laws because music did become more legal and parties became more legal and there was satellite internet, all that stuff that came in, making the country be able to access more of the outside world. But inflation hit in a way that you, as an American, could never imagine. Inflation in Iran means you get 25% or more added to the prices of everything every single year. All the sanctions that are put on the Iranian government by the United States, for example, it doesn't hit the government, it hits the people. So if you go look at a menu, what used to be a certain price will literally become 25% more within a month. So if you were used to paying $5 for something, it would become 6.25. And then all of a sudden, in a few years, it would be $10. And then in a few years, $20. My sister always said, I can never save up for something because as soon as I save up for the amount, now whatever it is that I was trying to buy is 20% or 50% or even 100% more expensive than before. Now, despite what's happening, there are people that follow their gut, follow their intuition, follow their impulses. And what happens to them is that they are able to live the lives that they really want. So they become immune to the outside world in a way that their life, their lifestyles continue to stay the way that it was before the inflation, before even the revolution. Now, of course, there is a lot of restrictions, but their lives continue to be fruitful. They have successful lives, successful businesses. And when they get hit hard by new sanctions and new things that are oppressing the people, they go with their gut, they go within, and they discover new solutions. So that is the worst case scenario from oppressive dictatorship government that oppresses its people. Now, we in the United States do not live in that country. We don't live in a country that's even close. whoever you think is the president, whether it was the Democrats running the show or the Republicans, it is nothing compared to what people are living in other countries. And I firsthand have witnessed people thriving. Now, in Iran, Islam is the major way of thinking because that's what the government pushes down people's throats. Being gay is illegal. You can get killed in Iran for being gay. Now, guess what? I got married in Iran to a man in 2003. We had parties full of gay people. There was all sorts of stuff going on. And later in 2010, I believe, I gave my first lecture on the law of attraction, which is not Islam. And it was a 4 hour lecture. Then they asked me to come back. And then subsequently, the following year, I did more and more. And that's how my career even began. It was when I was visiting Iran. And I'm not saying break the rules. I'm saying don't let the outside world dictate your own creation. So be the creator of your own reality. Dictate your own mood, dictate your perspective, and don't let who you think is the oppressor oppress your energy. Because what happens is your energy goes down, the quality of your life goes down, the people that you end up meeting are of lower frequency. You end up talking more about the drama than the good stuff that's happening. I want to give an example. My son asked me about my daughter. My son's 7.5 years old, and he's been very much involved in the whole political atmosphere. And he said, was Faith, my daughter, alive during the Obama years? And he said, was that the best time of your life? I said, no, actually, in 2014, my son died, and Faith's mother and brother died, who was my son and my best friend. And that was the worst time of my life, was during the last bit of the Obama years. And it had nothing to do with Obama. And also, some of the best experience of my life was when my children, my twins were born. And that was during the Trump era. I really believe that we cannot give our power to the government because our personal lives happen separately than what the government is doing. And we have to take charge of ourselves, our energy, and follow our inner voice. Because even if you were thrown into a landmine that's so dangerous, if you follow your inner voice, you'll know which steps to take to be able to get to the other side, and you won't explode. I'm being very, very dramatic right now, but you have to learn to listen to your inner voice after you have managed to separate yourself from the vibration of the collective. So if the collective is being really upset and angry right now, your collective, somebody's collective might be something completely different. If you can manage to retain control over your emotions and your energy, then you vibrate high. And no matter what other people are going through, you are going to have a good life. Then you have to practice to listen to your inner voice. And when you do that and you're vibrating high, guess what? Things just work out for you. No matter who's the president, no matter what country you live in, things just work out. I had the best financial year during the recession in 2008. I was living it up. I've had the most wonderful experiences. The last 4 years, people call it the Bidenomics and how people didn't have money for groceries. I've had a wonderful life. And I'm not saying that others haven't suffered, but I'm saying when you go with a narrative, when you look at the egg prices and you freak out and you have this horrible moment, then the flow of money that would have been extra because things cost more restricts and you end up making less money. And when you get so nervous about something that is outside of your control, the things that happen to you match that frequency. So tell yourself today, I'm going to take charge of my own energy, my own vibration, and I am going to act despite my environment. I'm going to choose how I'm going to feel. I'm going to choose how I'm going to behave, and I am going to take charge. And when you do that, It doesn't matter who's president. It doesn't matter who made a mistake. It doesn't matter what other people did. All that matters is that you took charge of your life. But you have to make a deliberate decision to do that because you have to know in your heart that you are the creator of your reality and no one can take responsibility for what you get to experience inside the walls of your own home other than you because your personal reality extends far beyond the confines of your own home. So, are you willing and are you ready to take charge of your life? Are you willing to choose who you want to be, how you want to feel, what you want to say to other people, how much of the drama you're willing to omit and hold to yourself, and how much of the love you're willing to share? Because at the end of the day, if you are a beacon of light in darkness, you will attract other people who are drawn to light. And if you're darkness, in even the brightest of places, you will be a source of pain and torture for other people. So be the light. Choose to be the light. Let whatever results you got this election empower you and take you to the next level of your evolution. If you think the results were bad, show that you are the creator of your reality and choose to see the light, the bright aspect of life. I hope that helped. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. Take care.